What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 characters who I think are likely potentials to be the next Global First LD to celebrate Global Opera Omnia's 3-year anniversary. But before we talk about that, if you guys are brand new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. That way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. And if you guys enjoy what you see on this channel, hit that like button and share this video as it does help me out. So as we know, with the in-game news that we recently saw in Global Opera Omnia, there's going to be some cool events coming out, and with one of those events that they mentioned is going to be a countdown for the upcoming 3-year anniversary for the game. Now the 3-year anniversary is usually going to be happening around the end of January to early February. That's usually when they make the announcement about what the, first early piece of content that Global gets to see before JP, to celebrate the anniversary, and then afterwards they release it early February. And now moving forward, they have said that this will be in the form of early LD weapons. It used to be early character releases, but per what Joshua and Glacy stated on that stream where they revealed Vivi's early LD, it's easier for them to be able to program an LD weapon for a character early rather than getting, a brand new character, because that definitely takes longer. And to be honest, I personally like characters to get a weapon early because it allows that character to have a bit more of a spotlight, because as you could see, Vivi getting his LD weapon early has proven to be very effective for the character, because we've seen him used on some Lufenia fights. Most recently, he was actually used on the 3 difficult Lufenia fights that a lot of people, were looking forward to coming out on Global Opera Omnia, and Vivi really shined in those particular fights. So having an early LD weapon will allow some of these characters who on the JP side of the game may have been benched or rarely used because, they were outdated characters, but they can actually have a time to shine earlier on Global Opera Omnia. So me personally, I like the early LD over the early new character. I know the character for some have a lot more excitement, but I'd rather see a little bit more of this, frequently rather than like having to wait for a year and things like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about that. But anyways, I'm going to be going over who I think might be the potential LD first character for the 3-year anniversary. I'm going to go over 5 characters. Now, I solely base this on their popularity. So I was thinking to myself, if I were a Square Enix employee, if I wanted to, prepare like a big surprise for the fans, to hopefully get more people to play the game and also to hopefully, generate a little bit more income for the game, which characters do I think they would be most excited for? So I base it off of solely popularity, because if you ask me right now who I want the next LD first character to be, I would say I want it to be Rydia, because I love Final Fantasy IV, and Rydia is one of my all-time favorite characters from that series. But unfortunately, I don't think Rydia is popular enough, so I don't think it's going to be her. But if it is, then oh man, I'm going to go crazy. But anyway, so these are the characters, these are the 5 characters who I think have the highest potential to be the next LD character, or the LD first character in Global Opera Omnia. So the first one I actually think is going to be Fangrid, and this is the reason why. As you've seen, Final Fantasy XIV has gained an immense amount of popularity. When they redid the game back in 2013 with A Realm Reborn, that game just went through a complete overhaul, and it became from like one of the most lackluster MMOs to now one of the best MMOs up to this day. And Fangrid was one of the characters for that game, and he's gained, a lot of popularity quite quickly, with the story and everything like that. So I actually think that Fangrid has a really good shot of being the next Global First LD, based on the success of Final Fantasy XIV and, the popularity that the characters have gained in a short amount of time. Now, the next character who I also think could be a possibility is actually Prompto, another, recent Final Fantasy series release in Final Fantasy 15. As you could see, on JP Opera Omnia, he's the only one missing an LD, and in Global Opera Omnia, it's him and Ignis, but since Ignis already got his on JP, we know it's not going to be Ignis, and Prompto is the only one left. And Final Fantasy 15, again, those characters have actually gained quite a bit of popularity in such a short amount of time, and I think it's also because of, Final Final Fantasy 15 is definitely more of a modernized, presentation of Final Fantasy compared to, some of the earlier titles. So this is why I think Prompto could be the potential next global first LD in Opera Omnia. Now, the next one is going to be an older character, but he is a main character who I know has a big fan base, and it's going to be Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX, to me, is one of the best in the series. I love how they brought us back to the old school days of Final Fantasy with that particular game, and Zidane is definitely one of the more popular characters. He is the main character. He has that cool transformation, kind of like how Kuja has it, and he's a ladies' man. He gets the girl, he gets Garnet, in Final Fantasy IX. So I think he has the potential of being the next global first LD. Now you may be wondering, but Broadway, isn't he going to be a burst character anyways? Yes, that is true, but if you take a look at characters such as Ultimisia and Emperor, they actually got their LD weapons first, and then later on, they did get their bursts. So I think it's very possible that Zidane could be the next global first LD weapon character. Now, my next pick for who I think might be the next one is going to be Vincent, and rightfully so, because Final Fantasy VII is undoubtedly the most popular in the franchise, and Vincent has a lot of fans. He also has his own spin-off game where he is the main character in Dirge of Cerberus, so he's likely also to get a burst weapon later, but if they gave him a global first LD early, I think that would be really, really cool, especially right now with this current kit. Even with this EX Plus weapon, he's not nearly doing as well as some of the other characters that we currently have right now in Global Opera Omnia. He does have, that really nice attack down debuff, and he also has the Imperil, but his damage capabilities and other characters who could do what he does, but even better, he's a little bit on the outdated side. So I think Vincent, with his popularity, with him being a Final Fantasy VII character, could be a likely potential of being the next Global First LD. And then the last character who I think has the highest possibility, in my personal opinion, is going to be Zack. Zack is just a fan favorite. He's a very exciting character. I personally like him better over Cloud. Sorry, Cloud fans, but I'm more of a Zack fan than a Cloud fan. And, his overall personality, the way that he fights, the popularity of Crisis Core, which he is the main character of that game, I think puts him at a position of becoming the next global first LD character. And I think it would be really cool if Zack actually got it, because on JP right now, there are no hints of him getting an LD weapon anytime soon. And as far as tanking-wise goes, he's starting to definitely show a bit of age compared to what we've seen lately on Global Opera Omnia. I mean, we just had Gladio and Warrior of Light get, we had Gladio come out, Warrior of Light get his upgrade. So there's definitely tanks that have already, surpassed Zack. But I think if Zack gets that Global First LD, it's definitely going to put him back, up on the top contention for tanks. And also, he is a very popular character, which is why I think he could be the next possibility of being the next global first LD. So this is going to conclude my video as far as who I think might be the next character getting their LD weapon early on Global. Let me know in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys who you guys think it's going to be for the celebration of the 3-year anniversary for Global Opera Omnia. I'd love to hear from you guys, about, who you think it might be, what your reasoning is behind it. And also let me know who you would like to see personally. Like, which one of your favorites do you want to see get an early LD weapon that currently doesn't have an LD weapon yet, even on JP Opera Omnia? Thank you guys again for watching. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahal, everyone.